Welcome to another show of Social Security on CAN-TV. With summer starting, many high school aged kids are looking for a job now that school is out. Your first job is a landmark occasion. You're meeting new people, making professional connections, and probably cashing that first paycheck. You might be a little surprised when you see a portion of your earnings go to a tax called FICA, for Federal Insurance Contributions Act. The deduction goes to Social Security and is your way of helping us secure your today and tomorrow. It's our job to keep the safety net of Social Security strong through your incremental contributions. Understanding how important your contribution is takes some of the sting away because your taxes are helping millions of Americans. By law, employers must withhold Social Security taxes from workers' paychecks while referred to as Social Security taxes. On employees' pay statements, sometimes the deduction is labeled as FICA. It's the original reference to the original Social Security Act. Sometimes you'll see OASDI, which also stands for Old Age Survivors and Disability Insurance, the official name for Social Security's insurance program. But keep in mind, this is a life insurance policy. The taxes you pay now mean a lifetime of protection for retirement and old age or an event of disability, or if you were to die, your family or future family may be able to receive survivor's benefits based on your work. And you probably have family members, grandparents, for example, who already enjoy benefits that your Social Security taxes help provide. Social Security is completely solvent through 2033, and at that point, benefits may be reduced to 75% unless changes are made. So Social Security will be there. It evolves to meet the needs of the changing population, and you can count on Social Security in the future. But because you may be a long way from retirement, you may have a tough time seeing the value of benefits that could be many decades into the future. But keeping in mind the Social Security tax you are paying can provide valuable disability or survivor benefits if the unexpected happens. For example, today's 20-year-olds, about 1 in 4 may become disabled and 1 in 8 may pass away before reaching retirement age. We're doing this job together. The small amount you contribute with every paycheck allows us to help millions of retired workers, disability people, and veterans. You can learn more about how we're with you through life's journey at socialsecurity.gov. Thank you for joining us on another live call-in show. Remember, we'll answer your questions, so please call us at 312-738-1060. I'm Andrew Salata. I'm Public Affairs Specialist for the Chicago metropolitan area. And with me today, I have a special guest, Elvia Martinez.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Elvia Martinez, and I am an SSI Claims Representative with the Chicago Southwest Suburban Office in Palos Hills.
So Elvia will have a lot of experience to be able to talk about some of the questions we have. So as we start talking about the programs and as we wait for your call, remember we'll always answer your questions about Social Security. We may have some to let you know. Like today, we'll discuss how Social Security can help us in many situations. It's not just a retirement program, as our beginning lead-in talked about. It's America's most successful life insurance policy for events that could happen. When you make it to retirement age, you'll get something from Social Security. If something happens along the way, Social Security is there for disability or survivor benefits. And speaking of survivor benefits, I guess one of the things we always think about is I want my Social Security before I'm not around to get it. But like any good life insurance policy, it's important to think about what will happen to our family if something were to happen. So if a person who has worked and paid into Social Security passes away, are there any benefits payable on that individual's record?
Yes, Andy, there are benefits paid. Benefits can be paid to a widow or widower, unreduced benefits at full retirement age, or reduced benefits as early as age 60. Also, disabled widow or widower, if they are disabled as early as age 50, they can start receiving benefits. Any widow or widower with minor children under the age of 16 that they are under their care, they can also start receiving benefits as well.
All right, so with spouses, and something to think about is divorced spouses. So if you were married and the marriage may have ended in divorce, if your ex-spouse were to pass away, there might be some benefits for you as a divorced spouse as well. So Social Security covers both current spouses as well as maybe previous marriages. So There's a lot of benefits that are payable, and then we also have benefits to young children. For that young individual that may pass away that has young children in the household, they can receive benefits till graduation of high school.
That is correct. That is correct.
So when we think about benefits for kids, Social Security is funded by Social Security tax dollars. So as we pay into Social Security, we have those FICA contributions that we were talking about, or old age survivors and disability insurance. So an individual would need to work to receive Social Security benefits. However, if we were to help disabled children out, children wouldn't have a chance to work yet, and if they have a condition of special needs children, they may not be able to work. So fortunately, we have another program called Supplemental Security Income. So if you have, say, a 15-year-old child in a household who may be blind since birth, because SSI, Supplemental Security Income, is for individuals who are disabled, blind, or aged over 65, could she or could the child apply for Supplemental Security Income, and what would the parents have to think about?
Yes, the child can apply, or the parents can apply on behalf of the child. One of the things to keep in mind is, because the child is considered a minor child under the age of 18, we would take in consideration the parent's income and resources. That will determine whether the child is eligible for this program. Once the child attains age 18, the income and resources of the parents no longer are considered for any eligibility or payment amount. Another thing to also keep in mind, we have a very helpful tool on our website at the www.socialsecurity.gov, and it goes more into details about the qualifications for the program of SSI. We also have our toll-free number if they want to call us and get more information in regards to this program, and our national toll-free number is 1-800-772-1213. The business hours for that number is 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday.
And that's also a pretty important thing, because a lot of times when we have members of the public that would like to get a little bit more information about Social Security, they think of our hours as 9 to 4, or if it's Wednesday, our office hours are only from 9 to noon.
Correct.
So what happens the other times? Unfortunately, we have the 800 number, which is from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m.
That is correct.
And that gives us a lot of opportunities to still answer your questions. And speaking of questions, make sure you go to a phone, call us at 312-738-1060. We're looking forward to talking with you, and maybe we can help you out with some of the questions you may have. While we're waiting, though, let's think about Social Security and Social Security being there through your life's journey, whether it's from birth to retirement and beyond. We always want to think about what is the important part of Social Security, what should we make sure that is accurate, and what's the best way to take care of that. So, Alvia, what could we suggest to our audience?
Well, there's always a good way to keep track is we have one of the best tools we provide every American with on My Social Security, which is also offered online. There you can keep track of your earnings and verify them every year, get an estimate of your future benefits if you're still working, and get a letter of proof of your benefits if you're currently receiving them. You can even manage your own benefits, make any changes, request any replacement Medicare card, or any direct deposit information. You can always start your own personalized account at www.socialsecurity.gov/my account, and it gives you control over your future, basically.
And it does, and it's one of the things that it's pretty easy to start. When you visit Social Security's website and you see My Social Security, you click onto it, create an account. You will have to prove you're you, so there will be some questions that may have you think about them for a little bit, but we want to make sure you are the individual that's making it, because our site is secure.
Right.
It's also convenient, so that way you can do a lot of your business with Social Security at home. Because, yeah, you can always grab a good book and visit us in our waiting room, or you can go online and skip the line and be able to take care of things pretty quickly at the convenience of your own home. And one of the great things about it is usually family can help you out. I know there's many a times when I was younger and I had to miss my cartoons to go help out my parents take care of things. So this way, if we had the computer back then,
Right.
we would have been able to
That would have been great.
not have to go out. We could have taken care of things and still been able to help our parents or grandparents. So remember, you can always have your kids take care and help you out. So as we're talking, let's take a caller. Caller, you're on the air with your question. Hello?
Hello? Oh, yes. Am I on the air or are you listening?
Yes, we're listening.
Okay. I received a letter from Social Security indicating that my Social Security had rolled over. I've been retired for 10 years, but I retired early, and I never collected Social Security. I have two pension checks which have served me well, and I'm paying taxes on them. But what does it mean when they say that it has rolled over?
Okay, that is a odd term. I mean, what we do have for Social Security benefits, you get there's options that you have. The earliest you can retire for Social Security is at age 62 for early retirement, but you can wait later and get a higher benefit because if you go early, it's reduced for age. If you
Okay.
go at your full retirement age, you get 100%. For example, full retirement age for those that were born between 1943 and 1954 is age 66. But even regardless of what your full retirement age is, you can delay retirement past your full retirement age to get delayed retirement credits. It gives you about 8% extra for every year you wait up until age 70. So once you reach age 70, you'll have the maximum amount payable, which could be up to about 132% of your benefit. So
Well,
if you pass
that's
age
the
70,
point. I'll be age 70 next month.
all right, which
And
is,
I have to start collecting my deferred comp.
well, the deferred comp is something different. Your deferred comp or your minimum required distribution, that's an IRS situation, which is something you may want to call the IRS on. But fortunately, since you called us about Social Security, at least we can let you know that since you're approaching age 70, you might want to contact Social Security to start getting your age 70 benefit and have a little bit extra retirement money. So one of the best things I can suggest for you to do for the Social Security part is visit our website at socialsecurity.gov. You can then file for your retirement application right online. However, if you want some of the other options, you can contact us at our 800 number, 772-1213. And again, you can do that this afternoon or this evening by 7 p.m. just to get a better idea about what to expect. So just keep in mind, remember to contact Social Security to file your retirement benefits because you're approaching age 70, so delaying after age 70 won't give you a higher benefit. But on that other part about that deferred income or your minimum required distribution that happens, that's an IRS principle, and you may want to talk with the IRS about that. You can check with irs.gov. They have a website that you can also get some information there. So thank you. While we wait for some additional callers, I did want to talk a little bit about one of our newest public service announcements, just to remind you about the importance of Social Security. As we were talking about, it's through your life's journey. When you are first born, you get a Social Security card, and then you start using it for work, marriage, you may change your name, and then other happenings throughout your life where you may need Social Security.
We're there, day one, with baby names and a gift that lasts a lifetime. As you grow, protecting you with those you love. We're there when you get your first. We're there if the unexpected happens, to help you see life from a new perspective. We are there when you become a full-time grandparent or the author of your next chapter, to make sure you get off to a great start. And we are there when you lose your soulmate, to help make sure that you will be all right. We are with you through life's journey. We are Social Security, securing today and tomorrow. This video produced at U.S. taxpayer expense.
So now that we did our little commercial break, just to remind you about the importance of Social Security, it's always important because I know I've gone to visit schools or talked with employers, and the younger employers that just started working, we don't really think about retirement. It's like, what is the FICA that we get here in our paychecks? So this gives us an idea that it's kind of preparing for our future so we know what to expect in life. And with that, we wanted to make sure that we can think a little bit more about, and that leads to our next question, because we kind of talked about disability and how 1 in 4 young workers now may become disabled before retirement age. So even though we may not want to think about it, it could happen. In an event of disability, how can someone file for their benefits?
So in an event that someone does become disabled, they can file for disability online at www.ssa.gov/disability SSI/apply.html. Getting a disability decision can usually take anywhere from 3 to 5 months, and the time frame can depend on the nature of the disability and how quickly your medical evidence from your doctor is sent back to the medical people that we work with in Springfield. Whether or not it's necessary also to send people down for a medical examination, and how long that appointment and scheduling is done is also plays a role into the decision processing. They can also do the medical release forms. Everything pretty much is online, other than waiting for the decision, which is about 3 to 5 months.
And one of the key things that I always like to remind our viewers about, if you're thinking about filing for Social Security disability or SSI disability, a great option is filing at home. Because if you think about where all your records are all at home.
Right.
And if they're at home, when you have those questions about what doctor did you see or hospital, it's like trying to think of, okay, Dr. Smith's address is, oh, I don't know. And if you're at home, you can pick it up. And that disability report form, even though it may seem like it's going to take a long time to fill out, it has a convenient feature. It has a re-entry number. So when you start the process and you have a difficulty answering a question, you can come out and then use your re-entry number to get back in, so that way you have that information. Because as Elvia had talked about, depending on how long it takes us to get those medical records will depend on how quickly we can make a decision for you. The more accurate information you give us, the better decision we can have in turn, so that way we can speed up the process and hope to have you well on your way to recovery.
Right, that is correct.
Now, thinking about disability, it's a little different than retirement because we have to take a look at how things are going. So what I wanted to talk about this before we take our next caller is, to get Social Security disability, you just had to have paid at least 5 out of the last 10 years of work, unless you're under age 31, which would have a little less callers. But the most important part about that is we need to make sure your medical condition meets our requirements. We don't have a short-term disability. So it has to be a condition that's going to last at least 12 months or expected to result in your death. So what we'll look at then is your age, education, and work experience. So there's a drawn-out process that we have to look at to make sure we can pay you correctly. So that's why that report is pretty important to get completed. So caller, we have you ready, so you're on the air. Hello?
Hello?
Hi.
Yeah, barely hear you.
Oh, all right. We can hear you, so...
I can hear you now.
Okay.
My wife had passed away in '09. I'm now, I'll be 69 years old. I'm collecting full retirement benefits. Was I entitled to any part of her Social Security? And one more question. How do they know if there's going to be cost of living increases? Because there hasn't been any, what is it, three times already?
All right, pretty good question. I'll start with the first one, the survivor benefits. The survivor benefits, when you receive Social Security benefits as a couple, each of you may have worked and paid into Social Security and are getting a separate amount. What happens when one member of the couple were to pass away, the higher amount is what is paid out to the surviving spouse. So in your situation, if you were already receiving the higher amount when your wife had passed away, then your amount would remain or continue on. If you were receiving a lesser or lower amount, then we would add on the difference to get you to the higher rate. What you would want to do is take a look to see, make sure we paid out that $255 one-time payment. Generally speaking, we do pay out the survivor benefits because the funeral director sends us a notice to let us know, and then we look into paying out. Your second question is a little more complicated. What it is what we look at is the third quarter of every year. So in this case, we're approaching July, which is the third quarter. So from July through September, the Department of Labor is going to start measuring the consumer basket that they use, the Consumer Price Index. And if this year's quarter between July and September is larger than the previous year when we had a raise, which was in 2014 for the year 2015, then we'll have a cost of living increase. And you were correct. Since 1975, we've had a cost of living increase for every year except for 3. So for the most part, there usually is a cost of living. It's built into Congress. It's nothing to do with an election year this year. It's more going to be what the basket of goods will look like come July through September of this year compared to the previous year. And whatever percent increase that is, that's what we will offer. So hopefully that gave you some answers to your questions. And remember to keep in mind, you can always visit us at socialsecurity.gov. As we wrap up, I wanted to just cover one more topic. And since June is Pride Month, I wanted to talk a little bit about news for same-sex couples about Social Security. Last year, the Supreme Court issued a decision in Obergefell versus Hodges, holding that same-sex couples have the constitutional right to marry in all states. As a result, Social Security recognizes more same-sex couples as married for purposes of determining entitlement to Social Security benefits or eligibility for supplemental security income payments. We recently updated instructions for employees to process claims and appeals when a determination of marital status is necessary. These new instructions remove from our policy any mention or consideration of the dates when states first recognized same-sex marriages from other states. These dates are no longer relative. Adding the dates when some foreign jurisdictions allowed same-sex marriages, thereby eliminating the need for case-specific legal review and many foreign same-sex marriage claims. And we've updated and simplified our procedures for processing claims involving a transgender or intersex person, allowing these individuals to self-identify as members of a same or opposite sex marriage. These streamlined and clarified policy instructions address the questions raised by advocates and employees, so that way we can process these cases. So we encourage anyone who believes that they may be eligible for benefits to apply now. And you can learn more at socialsecurity.gov/same-sex couples. So you can visit our Social Security website and get more information about it, because Social Security will be there through your life's journey for marriage as well as in times of need. So as we're wrapping up the show, we've talked a little bit about Social Security and what to expect. Now, we talked about Social Security being linked to payroll tax dollars. What I wanted to just finish up the show is talk a little bit about how SSI comes into play. I know it's funded by general revenue tax dollars, but what is the important key distinction for SSI that we need to review?
Well, the important key with the SSI is SSI is a program that's available to, is an income-based need program for people who need assistance, who are disabled, who've contributed and paid not as much as the regular Social Security disability, or maybe have not worked at all. This is a program that's available to assist you, that if you are approved, then you would be eligible and be paid on that. record.
So the best thing to do then is call us at 1-800-772-1213 and see if you qualify at 1-800-772-1213. And thank you and have a good evening.
Thank you.